Hi, my name is Cecil Baumann, and I'm your host and the founder of the company Ganz in Bewegung. I'm a movement and Alexander technique specialist. My business serves holistic thinking people who want to improve their mind body connection. We are coming to you live from Zurich. Our interview session today is with Ilana Jankovic, money maestro and certified money coach. Please welcome Ilana Jankovic, a dynamic money maestro and certified money coach who is dedicated to transforming women's relationships with money. With her straight talking approach, Ilana guides women from being money martyrs to become money magicians, empowering them to create a harmonious, wealthy, and impactful legacy for themselves and future generations. Through her mindful money coaching group, courses, and impactful coaching sessions, Ilana's mission is to help women from all walks of life rewrite their money stories and reclaim financial empowerment. She leads by example, having transformed her own relationship with money, and now she's on a mission to share her expertise and wisdom with others. Ilana's passion for empowering women extends beyond her coaching practice. She actively seeks opportunities to collaborate with like minded individuals who share her vision of financial empowerment for all. Whether it's through speaking engagements, workshops, or podcast interviews, Ilana is committed to inspiring and empowering audiences worldwide. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Ilana, please contact her directly. Join me in welcoming Ilana Jankovic as she shares her insights and expertise on mindful money management and financial empowerment. Welcome, Ilana. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Cecile. Thank you for having me. Very excited to be talking about this subject. And I love how the name Maestro comes in there. This was a name that somebody gave me because she said, you're not only fixing money situations and money in my business, you're connecting me with people, you're networking, you're doing so much more because of my business experience. You are the maestro. So that's where that name came from. And I haven't heard anybody call me that on a live for quite a while. So thank you.
Yeah, but that's really true. Because end of last year, I was listening to your presentation in the Harmony Her Summit from Anisa and knew that this is the missing gap. I knew I had to address my money mindset as soon as possible. Since you talked about money habits, I was ensured that you are the right person to help me with my money mindset. And it's true. We are really a maestro. I learned so much in the group courses and also while filling out the workbooks and think about money. It is just amazing. I'm so glad you have I'm so glad you're here today and share your wisdom about money with our audience. It's really a gift.
Thank you so much. And it's my friends always say to me they've never see anybody that gets so excited to talk about money. And it's not from a greed point of view, it's from an understanding point of view of how money flows, how money works, how the relationships are affecting all other relationships. And I was actually on a call before this and I was talking, the ladies were talking, and one of the women said something Ilana taught me many, many years ago, that when you hold on to money, it's you stagnated. The money becomes old. You must open the flow, pay your bills, and you will then see that there's an abundance. And I love talking and explaining to people about this mindset of how women, most of us weren't taught, weren't educated at home or at school about money. A lot of boys were, but girls weren't, and how to actually change that, as you said, to leave a legacy for the next generation, which is vital.
Yes, yes. And I never thought that it can be fun to talk about money. I have to be honest, but it's really, as the longer I'm learning to talk about it, the better I get at it, and it's also fun to talk with friends, and it's enriching and empowering.
Exactly.
It's so much more than just the money. And also the feeling, to get to the feeling that it can flow in and it can flow out. But first, I have a question about body and movement. So, Ilana, in your work as a money maestro, how do you see the physical aspects of our bodies influencing our relationship with money? Are there practices or techniques you recommend to integrate movement into our money management routines?
100%. I believe that we are all part of a whole. It's not just one part of us. So the mind, body, all of it is connected. And I really believe in feeling grounded. It's something that I practice regularly, daily, is to go out in nature, get connected, get grounded. And most of the time when you're out in the nature, you have this calmness, this peace, this tranquility, and you're able to sort out and calm what is in the mind, the conscious or unconscious thoughts that's actually distracting us. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely where we need to be connected with our bodies, our minds, in nature, or even just physically, as you would be doing on, if it's in a mat or in a studio. For me, it's more outdoors, more in nature when we can. Even this morning, actually, I went out and it was raining and it was so nice. Yeah. Definitely connected is the way to go.
Yeah, I think it's also when people are afraid of losing money or having enough money, the posture is changing. There is the stress. You see the stress in people's body. I see it somehow. Mm-hmm. You know, they get like these, like pulling up the shoulders, and because it's connected. You're so right. Money often triggers strong emotions and thought patterns. So how do you help individuals with identifying, reshaping their money stories?
Just what you mentioned a couple of seconds ago, financial generational trauma is a real thing.
Okay.
And it gets stuck in our body, in our subconscious thoughts, and doing the self-work by understanding yourself, understanding where it comes from, what beliefs you're carrying, what stuff has been downloaded onto you that you are taking on as yours, which have become your behavior, your patterns. Mm-hmm. Understanding this, you can change it. It's all changeable. So understanding the process and analyzing what is keeping you stuck can help you to change this. As you said, you actually carry it in the body because it's in the subconscious.
Yeah, and it's so deep. You know, when I did the workbooks, it starts from childhood. And so I think that's really something we never think about, that the surroundings, they are really triggering us, and we learn from how others, especially our parents, experience money, how they talk about money. So, yeah, our past experiences and also the current environments can deeply influence our financial behaviors.
Exactly.
How do you guide your clients in understanding and navigating these external factors to create a more empowered relationship with money?
Try and help them to see where it's coming from and to see the patterns, because there are patterns and we will keep repeating the same patterns over and over unless we actually become aware of it. We talk about something epigenetics, which is about our environment and how we our experiences created the situation that we're in. And when by understanding what is being downloaded, as I was saying, it's all reversible. So you don't have to, if you grew up poor, like I did, you don't have to stay poor for the rest of your life. By understanding what was your parents, their financial trauma, you can change the way you think and the way you're wired around money. So I help people to rewire their money story. Done my own, and this is something that I do.
And it's also funny that actually how we talk with our partners about money. It's or with our children, it's somehow repeating the patterns of our parents. I noticed this very much that I talk the same way, the same words, and I always like, no, come on, not again. So it's really changing on a deeper level. It's necessary to change it
And when you
completely.
yeah, exactly. And when you become aware of it, you will catch yourself saying those things and you will say, oh my gosh, I sound just like my mom or my dad. I need to speak differently.
So interesting. And that's also one topic I'm very interested in, the mindfulness, how breathing exercise and how you can manage very mindfully your money, because it's emotional. We talked already about it. And so how do you include mindfulness practices or techniques to help people with money? Because some have really fear about money, fear to lose money or fear to have not enough money. So,
Very
do you
interesting.
use the techniques?
Very, very interesting you say that because I work with people with a very little money and I work with people with a lot of money. And the fear is exactly the same of losing it, of not having enough, of not being enough, of being in business and not charging. I believe that we all need to have our own sort of routine that we have that grounds us. And first of all, breathe in. Breathing manages to calm us, as you know, and I'm sure you do this in your practice as well. And first thing in the morning, to have your time where you get grounded, where you write down your thoughts, where you do affirmations, where you see what is coming up that's actually making you afraid, and journaling about it. I believe journaling is something I call soul writing because you're writing from what's within. Doing gratitude, grateful for the things you have, not grateful for the things that you don't have. Because when you start being grateful for the stuff you do have, you will start finding more things to be grateful for, and you will start seeing the abundance as opposed to the lack and the scarcity. And a lot of us have been programmed to live in the scarcity. We put on the TV, we hear about all the things that are happening, all the fear. We can choose differently. Mindset that means I am in control of my thoughts. I can control how I want to see this world, how I want to see myself, how I want to see my finances.
Yeah, and it's a habit. It's really so interesting. And when you say it's about mindfulness, in my mind, money was not. It was absent. It was not. It was not there. I never thought about money. It was always there, but I couldn't manage it so well. So I wasn't aware of it, and that's something very interesting. If you start um, creating habits about money in a good way. So I can start actually in a good way, in a different way, because I just ignored it. Or it's the martyr. It's the martyr ignoring. Let's talk about the archetypes. It's probably better you explain this.
One of the biggest causes of divorce is money.
Mm-hmm.
Right up at the top. Couples are not in alignment when it comes to finances. The woman thinks it's her husband's responsibility, like it was her father's responsibility or her grandfather's responsibility to give the wife, your mom or your granny, money. So a lot of women are feeling they don't understand it. I just don't have enough. Money runs out before the end of the month. I just don't get paid enough. And they basically give away their power to a man. What I'm trying to teach is to empower the woman. Doesn't matter how much you have, work with it, understand it, be grateful for it, make it grow. A lot of us were taught, save money, save money, save money. We know the biggest bank, one of the biggest banks in Switzerland is no more. So what are we doing with our money? When we understand it, we can then work with it. It's an energy, and we can block it, and we can have limiting beliefs about it. You mentioned the archetypes. I see a lot of attachments that people have to their suffering come up in the archetypes. For instance, the victim archetypes. I will never have, I will never be able to, I should have, I could have, etc. with money. When we change the way we think, the mindset, we can change the outcome.
So you say you use this money quiz from Carl Jung's work. So can you probably just give an overview of the different archetypes? I'm sure they want to know.
Yes, so the different archetypes, and I absolutely love it. The archetypes are really about characteristics and traits that show up for us. Now, if they are in your marriage, it will show up on a money quiz because it's all connected the way the questions are asked. If it's about your work, if you're at a crossroad in your life, if you're looking for purpose, it will all show up in your money because money affects every area of our lives. For instance, if we don't have money, and I'll get to the archetypes now, what you asked me, if we don't have money, we can't have healthcare. If we can't have money, we don't have money, we can't buy the correct food. We can't have exercise. We can't have coaches. It affects every area of our lives. So by understanding which characteristics and traits we live in with, and as I said, are reversible and can change because all these characteristics come from patterns, behaviors, beliefs. The first one is the innocent. A lot of women are innocent, head in the sand. I was as well, Cecile, head in the sand. It's not my responsibility. Looking for someone to come and save me. Someone else is taking care of it. I'm going to go through them quite quickly, and if anybody wants more details, we'll put the quiz link in there. Next one's the victim. There's been betrayal. There could have been a divorce. It could have been somebody was gambling the money away, or you had no say in the finances. Your husband or partner or father, whatever, made decisions for you, didn't include you. There's no alignment. And there's a lot of anger and resentment that happens when you are this victim. That affects every single area in your life. The next one's the martyr. The martyr, most women have got martyrs because we learn as girls to give, to look after, to be the good girl. We want to get our parents' respect. So we're doing. Men and boys learn to look after themselves, to buy what they need, to invest in what they want. Women, if you ask them what they do with their money, because I do a lot of budgeting exercises or budgeting work, they buy with their money, they buy food, they buy gifts, they buy things for the home. Ask a man what he does, because I do work with men privately. He invests his money. He buys cars, he buys boats, he buys whatever he wants to buy, crypto. He is investing for the future. It's a big difference between men and women. That is the martyr, where she doesn't take care of herself. She's a giver and always doing to others. The next one's the maverick. Now, the maverick is somebody who's not planning for the future, is living for today, spending it all, doesn't understand where money comes from, or gets money from a partner. And this is often where I work on a deeper level with financial abuse, where the husband controls the wife with the finances. She's living for today. She's not planning for the future. And this needs to change because there's so much stress and anxiety in all of these different archetypes, characteristics, but in the maverick, because she's worried about a future. What happens if he leaves me? Mm-hmm. Even women with a lot of money that I've worked with here in Switzerland are worried that if her husband leaves them for the younger, blonde, tall-legged lady at work, what is going to happen to her? She doesn't understand about what's in her name, what's their contracts, doesn't understand any of the legal stuff. So money is on so many different layers than what it just appears to be. The next one is the ruler. And a lot of these, as I say, come from the way we've learned from our parents. We've picked up habits. We watch from, even when we're still in our mommy's tummies, we learn to pick up the patterns and their behaviors around things they do, their actions, their beliefs. We learn that As a child, if we couldn't control things, we try and control it later in our lives. And I often see women with a lot of ruler. They're trying to control something, trying to control situations, the finances, trying to control their partner, trying to control their kids. And this leads obviously to a lot of toxicity. Another one I see is the hero. The hero, I'd like the score to be high because this is where they've got business sense and understand business and are able to create a business. But at the same time, I also see a lot of attachments to they don't trust, doing everything themselves. And a lot of the people that I've worked with that have had high hero have had burnout. So I've got to then see what are they doing? How are they running their businesses? And that's when I have the one-on-one calls and I can see, okay, you don't need to do all of this. You can get somebody to do this for you. You need to delegate. You need to let go. You need to release. You need to surrender and concentrate on the things that you're good at, that nobody else can do. And the last one is the magician. The magician is one that we all want to be. The magician is wise, is balanced, is prosperous, has abundance, understands mindfulness, understands that it's all a balance and that it's all a flow. The magician doesn't leave money on the table. They see opportunities and they take the opportunities. They don't wait for somebody to come and give it to them and play the victim card. So that's very quickly the 8 archetypes in a nutshell. And the one we all want to be is the magician, but we all want to make sure that there isn't high victim, that there's no attachments to the past, to the trauma from the past.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, each one of us has probably all of it. All of the archetypes are in some areas more high, more low. And it's so good to do this this quiz to just check in. And it's also changing, it changed a lot at the beginning when I started and when I finished the course. It was really amazing in this short period of time because it's a habit of a lifetime. And I always struggled with it. And I was always thinking, yeah, one day I will take care of this. Yeah, in the future. Not now. I haven't time for this. But it's so worth to care about it before you start a business. Because how do you want to start a business without having a healthy mindset about money? You will not earn a penny if you don't care if there is money going in or not. You really have to be mindful. So I really hope a lot of listeners will think about it and act faster than I.
I had somebody that told me the other day she's saving up. She can't do my program because she's saving up for her holiday. I said, I promise you, do my program and you will never, ever have to save up for your holiday. She's got her own business. You will make enough money in your business. I will teach you about things about money that you didn't realize before, and you will be able to see and get better control about what's going on in your finances.
Yeah.
Teach you how to put things in containers to make sure there is money every month, a small amount going in towards the holidays, but as well to the taxes and everything else. It's all about awareness. And it's interesting because I put it off for 2 years. I knew about it. It was affecting my marriage and I didn't want to know about it. I kept thinking I could fix it. I'm not going to go to somebody that's going to be able to show me and help me. I'm intelligent. I can do this myself. We don't get taught this. And it's something, I realize it's my mission to help as many women as I can to be comfortable with money, to understand it, and to be secure in whatever they've got, make it work. I always say, when you get your salary at the end of the month, make the money work for you. Every dollar's got to work a job to do.
Yeah, and it's not done with just being told, yeah, you have to organize your money. You know,
Yeah.
it's not done. You really need to implement the right habits
Yes.
and thoughts about it, and you know, doing the deeper work nobody else is doing. So yeah, I think you have a really fantastic and so wonderfully structured course
Thank
who
you.
is really guiding you where you are to where you want to be. And it's not stopping after 3 months. So, but it's continuing. We talked already about the supportive group, and I also could feel this, that it's really the group's support to talk about it. You know, it's the first step when you have never talked about money. You need this secure, safe space to talk about it. You know, and then you are like empowered to go out and talk about money more and more and get nice experiences, because it's so unusual for most of us, our women. And also, I had very nice connection with the women in the group. It's so great. And also on the Facebook and everywhere, you are supporting each and one of us. It's fantastic, really.
Thank
Um, how do you work? I mean, it's not just that you put up the Facebook group and then it's done. You're really, how do you help people get in contact?
So besides the group that they're in where they're doing the coaching, a lot of ladies come into this and it's fantastic. I think you learn so much in the group and it's amazing. But then there's a lot of ladies that do it VIP with me. They don't want to be in a group because they've got more issues to work through. But there's a community on Facebook. It's not massive. But the women that are there are incredibly supportive. They've all been through the program. A lot of them are solopreneurs. And we try and have once a month a meetup in Zurich where we will have lunch together or coffee together. I try and do it on different days so that it works for different people. I try and connect the right people with each other. I believe in giving back to the community, doing as much for them to help them and promote them grow their businesses. A lot of the clients, I would say probably about 70% of the people that work with me have come from referrals. So I'm always referring people. Somebody's looking for a yoga teacher, somebody's looking for a nutritionist, I will promote. Somebody's looking for a designer, whatever the situation is, I will always promote the ladies that have done my program, because I just feel that I really want them to get the work and to become financially empowered.
Yeah, I really can just, you know, people don't know how important it is to have a supportive group around. Or some do, but to find a supportive group, it's not so easy. You know, a lot of people know that it's important, but they don't have, or they have people who are just supporting themselves. And I think this group is really supporting each other, and that's the wonderful thing about your group. You are growing, and that's probably also because you know each and one of them personally,
Yes.
because they did your program, and
Mhm.
it's so in a deeper, lower level and holistic approach that it's this kind of understanding already there. We are supporting each other and it's on the flow. Nobody's holding on to their, you
Mhm.
know, profit to make profit and to advertise like crazy. And, you know, they are not like this. Those women are really working on themselves. And that's what I love. Really perfect group. Can you share some practical strategies? I mean, you touched already some, or exercises that individuals can implement immediately.
With your partner, find out, have the conversation, talk to your parents, find out what happens when one of your parents pass away. We don't like to have these conversations, but find out, is there a will? What's happening? Just find out from your partner where the passwords are, where the policies are. Know these things, because when they're not there, it's too late. I've had many, many women that I've worked with that they got into the situation where they couldn't then ask the questions. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're not tempting fate by saying something's going to happen. Ask the questions now while you can.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, if there's children, remember that your kids are watching every single thing that you're doing. Set the right examples. Listen to the words you're saying when you talk about money. Instead of saying, we can't afford this, you create a scarcity, you create a poverty mindset. Say, I choose not to buy this now, or we're doing something else at the moment. Use different words, positive words.
Mm-hmm.
Create the feeling of abundance in their lives. Because a lot of the financial trauma that children take on is from the generation before. Another tip is give your money a job to do. Don't just let it come in and go out. See where it's going. Create a budget. Categorize things in the budget and make sure that you pay yourself first. We all have bills. We all have things that come in. And at the end of the month, every single day when the postman arrives and he's got bills for you, pay yourself first. And with this money, make sure that you're not just working to pay bills. So take an allowance for yourself and pay yourself first. It's very, very encouraging. Just makes the whole job nicer.
Yeah, you once sent a video, I think, and the woman talked about, if you have this amount of money, you will also give away this amount of money.
Okay.
If you have just this amount of money, you will give out this account. So the part you just give it to yourself, and you can manage with with less money. So this is really striking. This was so good. This is something I'm doing now. I'm really implementing this. It's so important, and I made a big step. So I'm very glad. So that's so great. So your vision, do you see already your vision and mission coming on the right direction?
100%. I've worked with many, many women. And now, as you know, my daughter's in the business as well. So she's also she's got 3 clients at the moment, and she's coaching. So I'm seeing that she's learning from what I've taught her. She's had to unlearn, first of all, the things I taught her in the past, but now she's learning from what I've been doing for the last decade and is now teaching this, living by this. It was really interesting because even though she's had it with her, she actually did me a review, which I thought was quite interesting. It was her own words. She said it was the piece of the puzzle that was missing from her life, the money part.
Mm-hmm.
Because you all have to take responsibility for areas of your life. And it was a part that she hadn't taken responsibility.
That's so interesting, huh? And it's like you get taught so many things, but you never get taught about money, It's really strange. And I think this should be in school. This should be really school teaching program also, because it starts early.
I think so, but we learn it at home. Ultimately, we learn it at home, and we give pocket money at home. We need to give girls and boys the same amount of money, not that boys earn more, doesn't matter if they're older. We need to create at home the place where they can ask questions and learn.
Yeah. But that's, if you really have to educate yourself first.
Exactly.
I'm still learning.
It starts with you.
Yeah, it starts with us all. Oh, our time is almost up. But what are the top 3 things you want our audience to take with them?
The money quiz and see which archetypes are driving your behavior. And be open to change. Be open to figuring out these things about yourselves and knowing that whatever the way you are, You can change. It's reversible. And if anybody wants to have a chat, I'm happy. No strings attached. I'm happy to chat with them or just to help them see the possibilities in their business. I've had people come into me where I've said to them, I see your business, I see what you're doing, but I think you need to be going in a different direction because this isn't going to earn you money. And I'll tell them straight.
Yeah, I mean, you're such a great business coach also. I mean, this is you don't talk about it. It's more a side effect, but that's another story. Wish we can do another whole interview series about this because this is really amazing. You're really a businesswoman
Mhm.
who knows about how to deal with money and how to actually work that, yeah,
Together.
that the business is working. Yeah, that the business is really thriving and not just a hobby.
I always say if it's not making money, it's a hobby.
Yes, yes. Hmm. Wow, that's so great. So thank you so much, Ilana, for sharing your invaluable insights and wisdoms with us today. Your expertise, your mindfulness, and it's really inspiring. And I'm certain our audience has gained a wealth of knowledge from our conversation.
Cecile,
So
thank you for having me, and I really appreciate your time as well.
oh, thank you so much. Encourage you to explore Ilana's resources and consider taking the money quiz to kickstart your journey towards financial abundance and empowerment. Ilana, once again, thank you for being here and for all the work you do to create a more prosperous and fulfilling future for women everywhere. We're grateful for your presence today. The recording of this interview will be available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Ganz in Bewegung. Follow us for more content to come and let us know how you found the event. Until next time, take care.